Thank you, guys. All right, I'm back. What's up? Yes, I am back, you guys. We have made it back. Yes, thank you for coming back. Yes, I see you guys. I see you. Okay, all right, I see you out there. All right, guys, we're going to get this going. Welcome back to another episode of Benfranks. This is the second official episode.
Welcome to the Benfranks podcast.
No,
Nutrition,
I can't believe it.
cannabis,
Say it isn't so.
exercise science, vegan. The Benfranks podcast. With your host, Planet Hundo.
That's right. And you know what that means. If this is episode 2, we made it past the first hurdle. The first hurdle. Not the first turtle. The first hurdle. What is the first hurdle, you may ask? That's episode 1, guys. Episode 1 is harder than you may think, because a lot of people are very good at coming up with an idea in their head. But the hard thing is to execute that idea, okay? So if you have an idea in your head, I want you to mark today as the inspiration. I want you to mark this podcast as the inspiration for you to take heed on that idea. Or actually the opposite. Do not heed to that idea. You need to take a lead on that idea, and you need to follow up on that and execute with some action, okay? Because too many times, too good of ideas go to waste and never happen because of fail to execute, okay? So don't fail to execute, guys. Make sure you're executing your plans to precise measurely measures, and make sure that when you wake up this morning, or when you wake up tomorrow morning, you drink a quart of water for the first thing, okay? Whether you have to spritzel that quart of water with a little bit of lemon, which I do recommend, lemon slice in the morning, because lemon juice actually will cut your daily DNA hits down to a third of what they were before. That's right, people. You take literally hundreds of thousands of hits to your DNA daily. And so your DNA must repair itself on a daily basis. And guess what? Lemon juice, live lemon juice that has not been cooked or exposed to oxygen for more than 2 minutes, contains certain ingredients that will allow your body to absorb them and reduce its own DNA damage down to a third of what it is normally. That's right, folks. So think about how much DNA damage you are cutting out of your entire life when you are cutting every day down to a third, okay? Just think about that for a second. All just with lemons. So wake up, grab your quarts of water, drink your water, and grab your fruit, and let's get this day started, okay? So thanks, everybody, for coming out today. I appreciate everybody, all the subscribers and all the listeners. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and give this a like and subscribe if you're not already. Another thing I'd like you to do is go ahead and share this podcast, because we're going to need to get this Benfranks podcast spread around, if you know what I mean. I don't know why I'm tripping over my words so much today, but must be the edibles. But let's move along right on to our topic, and our topic is really not a topic at all again. You know why? Because really we're just still getting into the ball of things. I'm really kind of ironing out some specific ideas that I need taken. Whoa, what just happened to our light? All right, we just lost power with one of our lights. How's our lighting still? I think our lighting is doing okay. I don't know how you guys feel about it. We might need to the thing is my studio light is battery powered, so it runs out of battery pretty quickly. And the plugs in my studio, aka in the basement where I live, are actually the first plugs that were ever designed on the planet. To be honest, the model that is in this basement, I'm pretty sure, is not a model that should have even been released to the public. I'm pretty sure they are like the first designed physical plugs that were ever made. So they don't fit anything at all. Even your regular plug slides into it and shakes around like, I don't even want to say the comparison that I was about to say, but let's just say it wiggles around in there and falls right back out like it shouldn't. It's got no tri-plugs. All the plugs are just dual plugs, so plugging in extension cords is really not even a possibility because most extension cords are tri-plug. So that's the story of my life, guys. Not enough plugs to make this happen, and it is what it is. So my lights are slacking. But episode 2 of Benfranks podcast, we're going to get right into this. You know, I want to go ahead and take a second and give you guys a shout out. Well, not you guys a shout out, but I got to give a shout out to the song of the day. And if you guys don't know what the song of the day is, it's our little segment that we put together. We are going to host a different song every day. And today we are hosting this new song. So go ahead and take it away, and we're going to get groovy with it for a second. So if you got to go grab snacks, you got to go grab a little drink, you got to get your wedgie situated, maybe you got to go take a pee. Who knows what you got to do? But all I know right now is you better sit back, enjoy this little clip of the song of the day, and we'll be right back
You
with
thought
you.
I was gonna do the
Producer,
jerkin' style,
take it
but
away.
what's that? I bust raps like a blunt, roll with a thumbtack. Fuck sacks, I keep it all in a box. Packed with a bung to stuff your mouth when you talk. Hacking along, hit it been milky, now you try to walk. Wobble, wobble, ha, you just got fucked. Better get with it, on those explicit, come and visit. You'll see me on the television, a fucking mission, so come and get it. I got perfect vision to see these bitches. You'll piss your bitches the second I show I'm vicious. Fuck baseball, and fuck liquor, I'm a sport disser. I'll grab a picture, stack a picture, and snap a picture.
All right, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. That was the song of the day. The link for that song will be in the description of the video, so if you guys want to go ahead and check that full song out, go ahead and check it out because it's a great one. So let's move right along. We're moving right along to the news segment of the podcast. If you guys don't know anything about the news segment is basically a news segment. It's pretty self-explanatory. So what's going to go down in this little segment is basically the news, the daily news on whatever I want to give you an update on. And today's news is something very special. So cue the news music. Thank you. This just in, Hundo the reporter, it's giving you the news of the day. So this was actually some older news, but it's actually kind of seems new because I just found out about it. Back in February of this year, there was some scientists up around China, and they were doing some discoveries on seismic wave readings in the Earth. The reason they do these studies is to measure the inside of the Earth, similar as to how sonar waves read the inside of the ocean floor. Basically, these seismic tools are placed around the world, and they measure large earthquakes, and they measure the seismic waves that come from the earthquakes. And basically what happens is they measure these seismic waves and get a reading of the inside of the Earth. And on February or some shit like this, there was a news report that came out, and you could look this up. Go to Google. I will put the link in the description. There are mountains and valleys and fields that have been discovered roughly 650 kilometers below the Earth's crust, you guys. Now, it's really hard to put this into perspective, so let me do you a quick favor. I want you to quickly imagine the distance between the ground and the atmosphere. Your brain might tell you that's a long ways, but in reality it's not. It's only 22 miles. Did you know that? 22 miles. A short 20-minute trip down I-25. Straight up, and you're hitting space. Does that put things in perspective? Because it should. Basically, we're living in a small fishbowl. We are living on a giant M&M in between the chocolate and the outer shell that is our atmosphere, and a little pocket of air that is our sky as we know it. So, if it's only 22 miles between the ground and the atmosphere and space, I want you to imagine how large the sky might look if it were roughly 400 miles between the ground and the atmosphere, okay? Because if that doesn't just blow your mind, I don't know what will, folks. I don't know what will, folks, because guess what? There are mountains that they have discovered 650 kilometers below the Earth's crust that are bigger than the largest mountains we have here on the Earth's surface. By a landslide. No pun intended. I'm talking about mountains that are so vast the peak is measured to be around 400 miles from the ground to the peak. when there is only 22 miles we have on the surface between the ground and the fucking space. What the shit, you guys? I'm serious. This is some very, very interesting stuff. It puts a lot of weight on the hollow earth theory, guys. The earth is kind of more hollow than we are realizing it to be, and it's also a lot larger on the inside than we're realizing it to be. So that is the news today. If you guys are interested in that, make sure you look that up further, because that is a very interesting news topic. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. But basically, thank you very much for the news segment, Hundo. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get right into this podcast topic of the day, and that is confidence. What did he say? Confidence. That's right, guys. The reality that fake it till you make it. Well, it's kind of fake it till you make it. Well, it pretty much is fake it till you make it. That's really what confidence is, you know? Because 99.9% of the time, somebody's confident. It's out of arrogance, ignorance, or it's acting. I said it. Those are the three. And people who aren't confident, they walk around and they have issues doing very normal things, okay? This little thing, that little thing, this little thing. I can't do it. I'm not confident. Well, guess what? Almost nobody's confident. Everybody that you look up to that is so confident that you think, wow, that person is confident. How are they so confident? Because you just do it, okay? Just like Nike. You may be thinking, oh man, this is really nervous. Well, you're getting caught up in the story that you're telling yourself. And this is what we humans have a bad habit of doing, is getting caught up in the story. Because the reality is, folks, we are a bunch of meat skeletons. We're a bunch of meat sacks walking around on the earth along with a bunch of other meat skeletons that we separate ourselves from and act like we're so different from. We're walking around a floating rock in the black space that we know nothing about. And not only do we know nothing about it, but we are physically designed not to leave this atmosphere, pretty much. We need $1 million spacesuits just to supposedly go miles out of the atmosphere. So, you know, if you were to ask me, the real story is we're a bunch of meat skeletons on this floating rock spinning through this black vortex, and we're making up our own rules as we go. And a lot of these rules are fine. I have no problem with rules. I have no problem with society. I have no problem with the structure that we've built for the most part. Okay? Don't get me into the food structure. But for the most part, societal structure, you know, it is what it is. I don't think I could come up with a better idea. Zeitgeist. Just kidding. I don't really know how that would work, but I saw a movie on that one time. Supposedly some society is supposed to work where nobody needs money and everybody's just happy all the time, and it's floating cars, and I don't know. Look it up. Netflix it. I'll have to rewatch it. But my point is, you know, I just really want to get serious and let you guys know that everything is about perspective, okay? Because this could change your life, okay? This could very much change your life. And I want to put this out there. If you're somebody that's not as confident as you think you could be, I want you to take the step in the right direction today, okay? I want you to take the step in the right direction today, and I want you to be more confident. I want you to do something that's outside of your comfort zone and realize that everything is about perspective. And before you do something, before you get involved in something that is going to make you nervous, that is going to make you feel out of place, that is going to make you feel like you are sticking out like a sore thumb, like everybody is looking at you and laughing at you. Ha 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 ha. Guess what? We're all the same. We're all thinking the same. Everybody's just as nervous before they go into it. And every single time, right when you go into it and you start to learn it and you start to become familiar with it, guess what starts to happen? All that fear just starts to slowly fade away, because guess what fear is, guys? Fear is the unknown. Fear comes from not understanding something. Let me ask you this. Is there something that you understand inside and out? Is there something you understand and know like the back of your hand, but you still fear? I'll wait. I'll wait. Because if you couldn't answer that question, I'm right there with you, buddy. I don't think there's a whole lot of things that anybody really understands fully and is still fearful of. Because really, fear is just not understanding something and being scared of what is going on with it. That's really all fear is. And when you're scared or you're having fear to have some type of social interaction with somebody or talk to somebody or talk on camera or talk in front of 1,000 people, it's this very interesting, clever story that you're getting caught up in your head. Everybody's story is slightly different, you know. Oh no, I'm standing here and this many people are watching me and they're hearing me and they're going to remember me and it's going to change my life and it's going to do this and then it's going to do that and then I'm not going to be able to do this and then I will hurt and be sad. So I am going to crumble. Very clever story. These are all stories, you guys, okay? They're stories you're telling yourself in your head because in reality, after a little bit amount of time goes on, no matter what the fuck you went through, no matter if you get up on that stage and rip your pants off and rip your genitalia out and start flicking it around in front of everybody, guess what? Nobody's going to remember, and nobody's going to talk about it, and nobody's going to give a fuck. You guys think I'm lying? I'm not lying. Think about how much crazy stuff has happened in history. Tell me 5 of those things right now. Some 5 really crazy, juicy, dramatic things. You can't even remember. You can't even fucking remember. Excuse my language. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. But you know, it's just like come on. We put so much weight. On all these little things that we do. Oh, what am I gonna? I can't wear that. Oh, my this. Oh, I can't look like that. Oh, I said this. No one's going to care. No one will remember. It doesn't matter. Move on. Literally. And that's what confidence comes down to. It's you're getting wrapped up in a story that something you're doing is going to mean so much or have such an effect when it's just not, you guys. It's just not. Just live. Just be happy. Just slang and bang with it. You know what I mean? Because once you start doing that, everything just starts flowing. And you take a look back and realize, wow, that was authentic. That was genuine. That was real. Because that's what you are. You're real. You are perfect. Just the way you are. Okay? You know, it doesn't matter. Nothing. We get so caught up in this is this and this is that. Yeah, according to our story that we've written and made up. But anybody can write the story. Anybody can write the story any way they want. Really, if you think about it. So, you know, your perspective is trapping you, is really what's going on. So, unlock the doors, unlock the gates, stop receding and not taking action, okay? Today's podcast is about taking action. Today's podcast is about the execution of said action. And today's podcast is about conquering what you want to conquer. And I'll tell you this right now, guys. If there's anybody that I want to inspire you today, I want it to be old Hundo right here on the Benfranks podcast, because we are keeping it frank over here, and I'm keeping it frank with you, because that's all we do. That's all we like to do. So I hope you guys join me next time for another episode. And if you've got any suggestions of something you want me here to talk about, some topics you want me to cover, health related, fitness related, cannabis related, veganism related, philosophically related, hell, related to anything, I'll talk about it. We'll do it. We're going to get some guests on this podcast. And don't forget, guys, eating processed meat causes cancer. This has been another podcast by yours truly, Hundo. we're going to go ahead and switch it over to the audio-only portion of the podcast. If you guys are listening here on YouTube, this is where it ends. If you guys are over on Spotify and iTunes, you can find us over there, Benfranks Podcast. Make sure you download the audio because you're going to want to catch the audio-only portion. So basically, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you very much for joining. And thank you. Yep. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out. Benfranks. You know we Benfrank. Thank you. Let me get Ginger. Hold on. And a word of the day from our sponsor, Ginger the Cat. Meow. She's a little quiet today. No big deal. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yep, thank you. She's waving. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be back. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out.